and gentlemen, it is Money Monday. We are back. We are electrified. We're feeling absolutely great. Grab your cup of coffee, sit on down. Grab that morning tea, sit on down. We are about to experience each other, our ins and outs virtually speaking, literally, figuratively, hyperbole, metaphor, simile. Traders, today's a big day. It's a very big day, and there's no better way to kick off a week rather than starting it off with you right here and right now. So if you guys are watching over on StockTwits, if you guys are over on YouTube, if you guys are watching over on Twitter or X, hit that thumbs up right now and make sure, again, you guys retweet this. Make sure you guys show a little bit of love over in the chat. I believe, again, StockTwits.com is actually down at this moment, but I know they're working on it. They got a great team, so they're going to get everything up as quickly as possible. But I want to make sure everyone understands what we have right now at this moment. We have a few plays that every single trader should be aware of. We have SOPA. We have AMDL, CRML. We have AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. I think we have to start there. I think we have to start with AMD today. I think we have to make sure everyone understands what is going on with AMD. Because AMD was a play for a very long time. People would say, oh, AMD, advanced money destroyer. Oh, AMD, the stock that, again, is just going to be an unlimited throw your money and let it burn. But look what AMD has been doing. Traders, AMD has recovered and has gone from $77 and is now gapping up to $203. $77 back in April, worked its way on up, was sitting right around 170, and this morning we're gapping up to 203. What in the world is going on here? Why are we seeing this massive gap up over on AMD? What it really came on down to was that AMD did or is about to be making some sort of deal with who? With OpenAI. OpenAI, who is a massive trillion-dollar company who works with NVIDIA. Now OpenAI is going to be working with AMD. So it says AMD stock skyrockets 25% as OpenAI looks to stake through AI chip deal. It says OpenAI and AMD have reached a deal that sees Sam Altman's company take a 10% stake in the chipmaker. OpenAI will deploy up to 6 gigawatts of AMD instant GPUs over multiple years, beginning with a 1 gigawatt rollout in 2026. AMD issued an OpenAI a warrant up to 160 million shares with vesting ties to deployment and share price milestone. So let me just make sure that you guys understand this. For anyone who does not know, OpenAI is essentially who came out with ChatGPT first, who essentially started this entire AI wave. Now, OpenAI is a private traded company. It's a private company. It's not a private traded company. You just can't trade it. You can't be involved in it. There are no public shares in any way. So don't be going to your scanners right now looking for OpenAI. But OpenAI is kind of like the head honcho of all of this. We have NVIDIA, we have OpenAI. Now, of course, we have OpenAI saying, hey, we want to maybe take a stake over in AMD. Now AMD traders are getting excited. AMD traders saying this is what we've been waiting for. Because what has AMD done over the last, let's say, 2-3 years? They've been in the shadow. They have been the little brother. They have been the little kick in the butt behind NVIDIA. Everyone says, oh, you really want some big time chips? You go ahead to NVIDIA. You want the chips that people are going to use NVIDIA. Oh, all the big partnerships, those are over on NVIDIA. And now guess what? AMD is stepping up. AMD's making some big deals. AMD's making some big partnerships. And now we take a look over on AMD here and we could see the excitement that is happening. We could see that AMD, I mean, if we take a look at this chart, we can see that back in 2021, stock went from $76 up to $167, then fell back in 2022 when everything else fell. Then, of course, we had a massive rally all the way on up when we had low interest rates and everything was spiking huge, right? And then what happened? Another massive dump. And then, of course, another massive climb. So basically, we have AMD on this roller coaster ride over the last 5 years. Over the last 5 years, AMD spike, dump, spike, dump, spike, and now it's coming up towards 205. Let's not forget, our record highs are right around the corner. Our record highs are sitting right around this 228 mark. AMD Advanced Micro Devices kicking this party on off right now. I mean, this is exciting. This is big for traders across the board, and I know a lot of people are waking up this morning and seeing their AMD trades because I know a whole lot of people are sitting with AMD investments because you hear so much about it. People talk so much about it. Now, last thing I do want you guys to notice right here, team, is one of my favorite ways to trade stocks is to be on a monthly time frame. Now, I'm not talking about small plays. I'm talking about legitimate companies. I'm talking about Apple. I'm talking about Tesla. I'm talking about AMD. I'm talking about bigger, larger companies. One of the best ways to always get a great entry is to either do a 50-month moving average or a 200-month moving average dip buy. A lot of times you will see that when you have a good, healthy company, you will always have the best dip buy opportunity next to the 50-month or the 200-month moving average. For instance, go back over to the S&P 500. The S&P 500, people ask me all the time. I bought in on Monday, April 7th. This lower shadow right here is when I jumped in on it. Now, why did I do that? Well, simply enough, it just came on down towards an easy way that I like to trade. And what's that easy way? Go ahead, go into a larger time frame, monthly moving averages, and you could see every single time we have ever touched the monthly moving average, it has always been the perfect dip buy. The 50-month moving average has always been the perfect dip buy every single time. So this is where I said, hey, earlier this year, early 2025, when the markets were dropping and tariffs were here and people were scared and there was fear, this is where I jumped in. I jumped in right here. And I said to myself, we're getting so close to the monthly moving average. I don't know if this is the monthly moving average. I don't know if the S&P 500 is going to go slightly above it and turn around. I don't know if it's going to hit it and bounce off it, or it's going to go slightly underneath it and possibly bounce. So I added some here. I was going to add more and add more. But what I'm very happy about is, of course, looking at this and understanding, wow, okay, this is a great way to trade. So again, the S&P 500, 50-month moving average, perfect dip buy. Take a look, AMD right here. AMD, 50-month moving average, perfect dip buy. Let's just type in some popular plays and see what comes on up. What about Apple? Okay, Apple, guys, every time it comes on down to the 50-month moving average. And please note, the 50-month moving average usually does not get tested. It's usually tested, what, once every 3 years or so? And that's usually the best dip buy. So Apple had that perfect dip buy right off that area. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other ones. You know, Amazon. Okay, Dek, the blue line right here. Well, the thing is, if you bought underneath the blue 50-month moving average, you've had an incredible entry. Let's take a look over on Tesla. Tesla, every time it has come on down or has been under or near the 50-month moving average, aka the blue line, that has been the best entry. Let's go with some like newer plays. What about like Palantir? Palantir, the 50-month is not all the way down towards like $39. Okay, iffy, right? So we can see that usually this is going to be the best overall entry. NVIDIA hasn't even come back down to its 50-month moving average. See, it usually doesn't happen. It doesn't, we don't usually see it happen. It's once every 3 years, once every 4 years. But that is usually always one of the best dip buys you can get for good, credible companies. No, I don't want you guys going over right now towards SOPA, a $3 stock, and say, Dek, the 50-month moving average. I mean, we can't even see it. The stock is just has had so many reverse stock splits and is absolute garbage. But at the same time, for larger caps, for blue chips, for credible companies, those are the ones that you can use that little trick for. And it's one of the best ways to go ahead and get your best investment out there. Okay? So I want to make sure that you guys are, of course, looking for it. I want to make sure that you guys are excited, and I want to make sure that every single person is ready to rock and roll for this absolutely awesome day ahead. So, traders, right now at this time, let's see what else we have other than AMD, because we know AMD is going to be a play that is going to be on watch. It's going to be talked about over on social media. Every single trader is going to be looking at AMD. But let's see, is there any other play that's really standing out right now at this moment that we need to get ourselves involved in? I might have to restart my trade ideas real quickly, so just give me 2 seconds here. Let me just restart it. Sometimes, again, that's the issue with trade ideas, is sometimes they kind of crash on you there for a second and you just got to reboot it. But I'm excited about today. First day back, ready to rock and roll, coming off of, again, the rooftop party we had in New York City. I hope, again, I was able to meet you guys. And I know you guys, if you guys follow me in any sort of way, you saw pictures. We had an amazing turnout. We had over 200 traders come out to the free rooftop party. We were getting drinks. We were getting some chicken tenders. We were getting some butlers walking around, giving you guys everything you guys need. Dek, those weren't butlers. Those are waitresses. Okay. Hey, I'm just getting a little excited. I'm getting myself a little jacked up right here. But let's talk about this, and maybe we can set up another New York City rooftop party. Maybe we can. Maybe we can go ahead and send it all up again and give everyone free drinks all night once again, and free food all night once again. Set it up on one of the best rooftops in New York City once again. Hey, if you guys were there, you guys know it was a blast. Now, Let's talk about what are the best plays here today. So the way I always like to kick off my day, guys, is let's just scroll down, or let's just start right here with, again, Fox Runner. Fox Runner, let's take a look at all the best news articles today, okay? Best news articles today. SOPA just came out with an earnings, adding credibility. The reason why this came on out is because earlier this morning, SOPA was just up 100% with no news whatsoever. You can see right here, SOPA, no news, #1 top gainer. So it says SOPA, low float mover with no news. SOPA's hitting highs, does not have any news, has 4.5 million in float. As of now, SOPA's currently a top gainer, has a low float. The float was only 4.5 million. Float's just the shares available to the public. The lower the float, the higher the demand, the bigger the spike. Right? That's how we know. We always know, again, stocks where we say to ourselves, okay, when a stock has a low float, we could easily go on a big rip and run. And every now and then, we do see stocks that come out with or just go on big time rips and runs without any sort of press release. But it seems like this was maybe some sort of insider buying. It seems like there was some sort of maybe secret out. Because about an hour after the initial spike over on SOPA, we started seeing what this. Reports show a strong second quarter revenue growth of 46% per year. So when we take a look over on this, guys, we can see how SOPA went all the way from $6, started ripping up to $4, and we only recently just came out with the press release. Now, regardless, we couldn't catch this one early because there wasn't any sort of credible news behind it. But at the same time, you know what's good? Is that we do have credibility today, and SOPA might be a stock that we want to be watching. Remember, we do have good second quarter earnings. It is showing a 46% growth. It does say right here, SOPA 4.5 million in flow, and is considered the #1 top gainer at this moment. So SOPA up 129%. As of now, if we want to take a look at this, I would be adding again an uptrend. Here's our uptrend at this moment over on SOPA. Beautiful uptrend at this time. We can also, again, grab this, bring this on down. We do have a nice downtrend at this moment over on SOPA. So SOPA, nice uptrend, nice downtrend, little bit of a wedge that's going to be forming. These are things that I always like to do. Whenever I find a good credible stock, whenever I find a good credible press release, I always then look at the chart and try to figure out where support and resistance. We have, again, a good press release. We have credibility. We have a low float. Press release equals a reason for us to buy it. Low float is going to allow the stock to go on big time spikes and rips and runs. And now, of course, when we have support and resistance, we're now going to be able to figure out what should we do next. Well, I see that the stock again has dip, buy, bounce play, dip, buy, bounce play, dip, buy, bounce play. We can also see right here, we do have top resistance, top resistance, top resistance. So what's most likely going to be happening is that this stock is going to get tighter and tighter and tighter until it breaks. One way or another, either resistance is going to break and the stock is going to fly up, or we're going to have support crack and the stock is going to dump on down. So it just depends on this point. It's a waiting game. Sure, I could go ahead and buy shares right now, and I hope that it breaks the top resistance wall. I could go ahead and short shares right now, and I hope it cracks underneath the bottom floor. But that's all it is. All it is at this moment would be for me hoping that it breaks through resistance, me hoping that it cracks through support, me hoping that we have the right idea at this time. So again, I definitely want to make sure that I'm not playing the hope game, right? And when I'm doing the hope game and I'm saying to myself, oh, I'm hoping things are going right. I'm hoping, again, we are on the right side of momentum. I'm hoping we're on the right play here, right? That's not the way we want to trade. So let's wait to see what happens as we get into the corner. What else do we have here, guys? We also have CRML. CRML really hasn't done too much during this actual pre-market, but it does have good credible news here. CRML, let's scroll on down here. SOPA, okay, let me bring this on back. And now let's scroll on down. I did see the CRML press release this morning as well. CRML at the very bottom says Washington eyeing a stake. Critical metal shares surge after Reuters report says Washington is eyeing a stake. So it says to do 75% in pre-market trading on Monday after Reuters reported Trump administration is discussing taking equity stake in the development of stage mining company, citing 4 people familiar with talks. So basically what they're saying here, team, is they're saying Washington, aka the government, aka the Trump administration, okay? So if we have, there is potential talk, right? It's saying after report says Washington is eyeing a stake. Does this mean they are 100% buying in on CRML? No. But at this, what we do have right now is the possibility, right? Possibility of seeing that the Trump administration is going to be adding a stake over on CRML. So CRML did go from $8, ripped up to $16. And again, this is definitely one we'd want to keep our eyes peeled on. Washington is eyeing a stake. The Trump administration is thinking about getting involved over on CRML. And you know what? That is good enough for a lot of investors to say, this is a great press release. This is one I want to get myself involved in. It doesn't even matter if the Trump administration even does buy in CRML. It's just the fact that it does have hype now. It does have excitement. It does have eyes towards it. And maybe the rumor grows. How many times in the stock market do we see rumors? Do we see hype? Do we see momentum really carry an entire play? We see that happen all the time. That momentum carries an entire play. And just like, let's think about it, guys. Let's think about it. You know, you guys ever play that game Telephone back when you guys were little kids? We used to do it on the bus. The bus driver would come up with a sentence and everyone would have to whisper it all the way to the back. And at the back, it would be completely different, right? And that's because the more people talk about it, the more the story changes slightly. Right? It's the same exact thing. Let's imagine if you were in high school and a rumor ever happens. Anyone see that movie Ferris Bueller Day Off? Throughout the entire movie, Ferris's sickness keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And people say he died, whatever. But he really didn't. Right? It just got more and more intense. Maybe the same exact thing could happen with CRML. Hey, Washington, the Trump administration is eyeing up a possible stake. Maybe all of a sudden it goes, hey, the Trump administration is eyeing up a stake. They said they're going to buy out the entire thing. They're not only buying out the entire thing, they said they are going to take, the Trump is going to actually advise this company. Oh yeah, Trump's advising this company with CRML. And again, they're going to make it the front runner for all, like it could just keep going and going and going. And I see that happen a lot of times, especially when you're going through message boards and you're going through things along those lines. You hear people talk and people make things on up and those things possibly, start catching fire, right? And then these stocks sometimes explode. The only big issue on this play right now is it does have 37 million in float. 37 million in float is a larger float. Rule of thumb is anything under 10 million is a low float. Anything under 5 million is an extremely low float. So that's why SOPA, it's one of the good plays that could be able to rip and run today because it has such a low float. So we have right now, SOPA did not have any news this morning, only had again a low float, but then came out with a report talking about that had a good second quarter. Okay, cool. So SOPA does have credibility, a little bit weird because the credibility came out like a day after the spike happened. So we'll see what happens there. CRML does have the possibility of the Trump administration buying into it. And then you guys can see all these plays. AMDU, AMDL, AMDG. These are all different types of ETFs to advanced micro devices, right? AMD. So we have AMD, the real stock. These are all different inverse ETFs, 2X ETFs, heavy leveraged ETFs. They all have the same exact pattern. They all look exactly the same. AMDG looks exactly the same as AMDL, which looks exactly the same as AMUU, which looks exactly the same as AMD. They all look exactly the same because they're all following AMD. Whatever AMD does, these are going to do. So you can go ahead and check those on out. But other than that, like those are the main plays that we want to look at. So let's just make sure that we are all set. SOPA already went over this. We know again, strong second quarter, 2025 revenue growth, 46%, currently in the wedge at this moment, looking to see if we're going to break out of the wedge. We also have, we'll come back to that in a second, ONMD. ONMD selects Palantir. So it says ONMD selects Palantir to advance healthcare AI and data analytics. Now, traders, ONMD and Palantir in the same press release is really big, right? ONMD went on a very hard spike this morning, but then started coming back on down. Who could tell me what would be a better press release? Not ONMD selecting Palantir, not a $1 stock selecting, oh, we're going to use Palantir's technology, which is up $177 stock. It would be a much better press release. ONMD would go sky high if it said Palantir selects ONMD. Right? It's like, it's way different. Imagine, right? Imagine this. Imagine if you were a singer and you said, I'm a singer. I'm a nobody. No one knows who I am, but I'm going to select Justin Bieber to be my mentor, right? Justin Bieber doesn't even know who you are. Has no idea. Sure, you can watch some videos on YouTube. He has no idea who you are. ONMD, Palantir, this could be like nothing. They have no idea who they even are. It'd be a lot different if Justin Bieber said, I am going to take you to the top. I am going to select you and you are going to be my little protege. That is way different because he's doing it. Same exact thing with Palantir. If Palantir selected ONMD, it would be way different. So they did get an initial little spike right here, but just because the way this is worded, it just couldn't like go on that big time rip and run. Here's the AMD deal, as we already know. Friday's top gainers and top losers. And then we do have the SOPA before that with the float, and then CRML. So traders, what would be on your watch list right here and right now? And this makes it very easy. So it says the 7:30 a.m. watch list. Obviously, this came out at around 7:25, and we've been talking since, so we'll get some new data at around 8 o'clock. But if you are saying right now, everyone just take a little screenshot right now, what to watch. Early bird traders. If you guys are interested in blue chips, you guys are watching AMD. ONMD, select Palantir. Unfortunately, they're falling and fading on down. SOPA did have no news, but as we could see, it did come on out saying it does add credibility. There is news now. We have CRML, guys, does talk about, the Trump administration. And then BTTC, this is the only one we have not talked about yet. BTTC on watch for a dip buy opportunity. So let's actually talk about this last one right here, team. BTTC, the dip buying opportunity, says watch for a potential run of buying momentum. So it says 4 days ago, we saw BTTC spike from the price of $6 to $39 in 1 day after this press release came on out. It says Titan Pharmaceuticals completes merger, shares to cease trading on the NASDAQ. With BTTC only being $2 million in float, which means it's a very low float, which means there's a lack of shares, the stock skyrocketed and collected over 15 holds on the trading session. Unfortunately, on Friday, the stock gave back the majority of its gains as profit taking moved in and shorters started to take control. This morning would be the day that buyers move back in for a dip buy. So essentially what we have here, team, for anyone who does not know, is we do have BTTC. BTTC went all the way from $6, spiked up to $40, came down to from $40 all the way back down to $10. So really what they're saying here is what we have is what usually happens on massive breakout days. Day one, stock comes out with news, leads to a massive rip and run. BTTC spiked over 500%. Day two, after a 500% move, obviously sellers are going to happen. Shorters are going to move in. The stock's momentum is going to shift, right? We have massive spike, massive dump, and now what's happening? Day three, which is today. BTTC has given back the majority of its gains. It's now back to a $10 region, which ultimately is giving us good value. Stock went from $6 to $40. It's back on down to $10. Even if we don't believe in BTTC, there should be buying volume and buying momentum today just because it is such a dirt cheap play to where it was just 2 days ago, So that's basically what's going on with BTTC here today. But those are all the best plays. Those are all the best stocks. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything, guys. Let's look at all the top gainers on the day. All news, all top gainers. SOPA, check. We already know it. CRML, check. We already know it. And then on top of that, we also do have ONMD. Check. We already know it. So we have all the best plays right here. We already know every single one of them. Now we can go forward moving with some confidence. What about all the top gainers today in general? All of the top gainers. SOPA, check with the news. CRML, check with the news. ONMD, check, did have news. And then we have FEMY. Let's go check out FEMY real quick. FEMY, see if this one has anything we like. Hey, running up towards around $1. $1, very strong resistance coming up in the future. But this is how I get prepared every single morning. I think the biggest mistake traders make every single day is they sleep in. They go, oh, it's 9:30. Let's see what's going on in the stock market. And then at 9:30, guys, guess what? You're so far behind. What I just did right there for the last, 10 minutes, took us 10 to 15 minutes, is we went over every relevant press release today. We went over every relevant top gainer today. We went through every relevant play that we should be aware of. And now I can look at every single press release and know what's going on. I can look at every single stock and know what's going on. I know the patterns that we have over on SOPA. I know what we're looking for. And now we can go into the 8 a.m. press release wave with a little bit more of positivity. It's the same exact thing when you guys were in college, if you guys were in high school. If you guys studied the day before a test, you sat down, you said, hey, I know all the answers, right? If you didn't study the day before a test, guess what happened? You sat down, you said, I don't know what's going on. This is your money. I know, again, when you're in high school or maybe even college, you really don't care that much. You're like, oh, yeah, whatever. I'm going to sleep in. I'll, wing it when I get there. Why are you winging it? This is your hard-earned cash. It's not something I'm willing to wing. I sit here, I trade, I stream, I talk, I teach. Guys, I work hard for the money that I make. If that's in market, if that's in other jobs, if that's in side hustles, whatever it is, you work hard for your money. Why are you sleeping in and just saying, oh, hopefully I just get the right play today and just follow what everyone else does? That's the worst strategy ever, right? So every single person, you should be, again, watching all the hot news. You should be, again, watching the scanners. You should be, again, making sure that you're all ready to rock. So in the next, again, 3 minutes here, team, in the next 3 minutes at 8 o'clock, we are going to be having the 8 a.m. press release wave. The 8 a.m. press release wave, traders, every single person do this. Number one, you always have to have float set. If you don't have float set, we are going to get way too much news. Way too much news. It's going to be like overwhelming. So what I always do, go to float 0 to 20 million in float. This is only going to get us the best press releases on today. The ones that can rip, the ones that can spike, the ones that can go on those big pops and big rips and runs. Then on top of that, I have 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star words. These words are giving us our ratings right here. So again, 4-star words, positive endpoints, reaching endpoints, primary endpoints, things like that. Even again, phase 3 trials, positive trials, top line, significant drug trials. Whenever we have one of these keywords, right, we are going to see it in 3-star, 2-star words, right? Then on top of that, I have my favorite words as well. These are words that are highlighted. So anywhere in the title or in the press release, if we see the word positive, it's going to be highlighted in gold. If I see the word quantum, it's going to be highlighted in gold. And also you could see these little circles right here. Unfortunately, again, you guys won't be able to hear it, but that means voice alerts are turned on. So again, voice alerts will read the press release to me, so I can not only see it, but I can hear it right away. Because let's remember this, guys. For anyone who does not understand, for anyone who does not know, it comes on down to, if you want to be successful in the stock market, it comes on down to the first come, first serve. We have all these different plays every single morning. Here's a certain stock, here's a stock, here's a stock, here's a stock, here's a stock. This is us sitting in the background asking ourselves, which stock is going to go on the big rip? Which one's going to go on a big time run? Well, in the matter of, again, in 2 minutes, maybe this stock right here comes out with a press release. Well, if I can see this right away, if I could find this play right away, I can enter here, and then the stock goes on that explosive move. Remember, news equals spikes. Spikes equal money in your pocket, or you could short a spike after it comes back on down. But the major factor here is news. If you want to become a great stock trader, you should be watching news at 7, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30. Then on top of that, you can turn on your voice alerts. You can have your highlighted keywords. You can have everything you need to be able to get it all set, ready to rock and roll. So again, Fox Runner, the other good news is I think the end of this month, they're coming out with their app, and you also get push notifications to your phone. So every hot keyword, every voice alert, anything you want pushed to your phone, you'll be all set, ready to go. Because for everyone who follows me over on Twitter or whatnot, saying, Dek, how do you find the news so quickly? I'm set, I'm prepared, I'm ready to rock and roll. Also, a little heads on up, if you guys want Fox Runner, you guys can type in the word FOXY, Foxy, for 30% off. And you guys also do get a free 30-day pass. And also, Fox Runner is free, so you guys can go check it on out. You don't get all the features, but there is a free version of it. But it's free 30 days, 30% off, and it's pretty cheap already. So make sure you guys go check it on out. But let's get all set, ready to go. We got 30 seconds here until the next press release wave. We are all ready to rock for some hot news, and let's just get ourselves ready to make some money. Right now here, traders, just want to be open, honest, credible, transparent. I am 0 out of 0 at this time. My positions, I have not pulled the trigger on anything just yet, but let's make sure that we are all ready to go with anything that we need, so we're all set, ready to make this money. Sound good? So, big morning ahead. We should be having some news come on up here in the next 5 seconds. All eyes on the news scanner. I'll tell you guys exactly what to be watching or what to be focusing on. I will call it out loud. I can see, or I can hear the voice alerts. You guys can see everything that's coming on out. They're all low float stocks. 8 o'clock is usually a big press release wave. Hopefully we get some big money making. We get some big time rips and runs, and we get a couple big plays. We do have a Bitcoin press release. Announces Bitcoin receives its $4 million. Hold on a second. Let's start typing in some of these. DARE. Keep your eyes peeled over on DARE right here. CVU. CVU also getting a spike. Notice DARE and CVU getting the two hypes right now. I'm trying to see. Breakthrough. Spruce Bioscience receives FDA breakthrough. Guys, SPRB might be getting some ripping and running as well. SPRB right here. That might be getting a little bit of hype. I'm going to put SPRB up on the top level too. Oh, it has too big of a spread right now. We have a couple plays, guys, that are trying to catch fire. We have DARE. DARE's one. We have CVU's one. And we also have, again, SPRB. SPRB, $9 up to 1040. The spread's a little bit too large, but let's keep our eyes peeled on that one as well. So traders, there's going to be a few plays here that are going to try to catch fire. We're just bouncing around, staying ready, and looking to see which one is going to be able to get that hype and get that momentum for us. So if we see the one that kind of starts catching the hype, gets the one that with the main momentum, SPRB, I'm still watching that one closely, guys. That's kind of my favorite at this moment. I want to see if we are going to see any sort of squeezing or ripping and running towards the upside on that play. So SPRB, anything else that you guys are seeing taking on off right now? Let's go through these a little bit. CVU is still trying. CVU is still trying. CVU is also getting a little bit of hype. I still think it's SPRB, though, is the best. SPRB, guys, $9 up to 1070. Seems like it's the best one so far. Nothing else is coming up on the top leaderboard here. Guys, we are having SPRB $8 up to $11 now. It does have a big spread. Now it's up to 1240. Now, Dek, you're saying, how did you find this play right here? Remember, it was all highlighted for me. It says Spruce right here. Spruce Bioscience receives. That's a key word. Breakthrough. That's a key word. Right? And we do have replacement or placement therapy. So keyword. So we have a breakthrough and demonstrating. That's the big thing. So many people are like, Dek, do you have to read the entire press release? No, you don't need to read the entire press release. You just need to see the header most of the time. So again, when I saw this, I'm like, ooh, okay, this might be able to catch some fire. This might start taking on off here a little bit. So it's a little bit of a scary play. I'm being honest with you because that's such a large spread. But with this large spread, the stock might start catching some fire, might start breaking on out. So SPRB, let's just be aware of it. Stock's already up 28%, starting to trying to move on up. If it breaks through 12, we could see this thing all the way up to 15 or so. APDN talks about a new ticker over on BNTX. We still have CVU, which isn't bad either. Guys, SPRB is starting to catch fire. SPRB right now, guys. Every single trader is catching fire over on SPRB. SPRB, guys, going absolutely ballistic at this moment. SPRB, big time spike and rip and run. If you guys are interested, you guys can do some small shares, maybe up towards $15, $16. Guys, SPRB just went from $10 all the way up to $18 right there. Team, I think I'm going to do some shorts on this play. It seems like it's going on a quick little spike and then coming right back on down. So I'm actually thinking about just doing maybe 100 shares on the short side and just having a little bit of fun here. Do 100 shares and maybe add it as it goes up towards $15. See if this one can maybe be one of those quick pops of one of those quick dumps. If I could be able to, just make a little bit of gains, I can. I'm not going to go big on this. Please don't think I'm going to go crazy on this in any way. But if this can stay under $15 and I just keep doing 100 shares here and there, I'll do that. Let's see if this could stay at or around that $15 mark. I'm going to add a little bit up high, bring up my cost basis to 13.14. This could be a play that does have that quick spike and just comes crashing right back on down. We just had a massive move over on this play. Stock, again, traders, if we take a look over on this one, SPRB, what did we just do? We just went from $9, exploded up to $18. Now we're at $13, and I just want to see if we're going to see this quick little spike and momentum shift. Stop loss would be if the stock starts breaking 15. Stock starts getting back above $15 again. Have a stop loss. Not worth, again, taking any sort of like $700 loss on. Not worth it anyway. But if we come back on down towards the low $12, I could be able to make, a quick like 150, 200 bucks. I'll take it real quick. Right? This could just be one of those quick little plays, goes on a spike and then starts getting a little bit of reversal back on down. But notice, guys, what did you see? You probably noticed right there that, again, the hot news led to buyers moving on in. And what did we stress? First come, first serve. So the only reason I didn't pull the trigger right away over on SPRB, just a little heads up for you guys, is just because it did have a little bit of a large spread, which kind of scared me a little bit. To see that large of a spread definitely made me a little bit nervous. Right? So that was like my issue on that play over on SPRB, was the larger spread. It did make me a little bit nervous on that play. Right now, still, again, getting a little bit of hype here. Watching, again, SPRB, $15, very strong resistance. $15, very strong resistance over on SPRB. Right now, again, I do have 200 shares. I am shorting this play. I know $15 is going to be some strong resistance. Might get little pops here and there, but this is a play that definitely has a lot of potential to be able to, or actually already had the big time squeeze and spike. I don't think we're going to continue to get big squeeze and spikes. I think it's going to be little pops above 15, and then again, little drops back on down to 13, 12. But guys, I mean, that's the thing right there. I'm not going to add right now. Let's not get too crazy. But this is it right here, right? SPRB. 48% gain, 3-star press release. Stock went from, again, $9 and exploded. $9 and then exploded. Traders, let's see if we get a reversal here. Let's see if we get a little drop, little fade. If not, I'm just going to get out. Went after a play. Don't want to, again, get too crazy on this, as I said. But again, it all is about giving yourself these opportunities of success, giving your opportunities for, again, these chances to be able to turn and dump and fade and fall and be able to say to ourselves, like, hey, can we be able to make some money? Right now, SPRB, I'm going to get out of this play. I don't feel comfortable continuously holding this one right now, especially if it's still building a little higher lows. Don't want to go against the grain. Don't want to go against the grain too much. I'm just going to, again, take a small loss, say, hey, you know what, Dek? This play, it still looks like it has that potential to squeeze up even higher. I don't want to get squeezed out. So, not worth it for me. Rather keep things nice and tight and small where, again, I know I can be able to make plays back rather than, again, putting myself in positions where I don't feel 100% confident. But you know what's the coolest thing? SPRB, did we see that right away? Did we see that the moment it came on out? Do we understand why SPRB is spiking? And now potentially SPRB, guys, yes, it could be getting, if it can break and hold 15. If it can break and hold 15, SPRB could possibly go back up to 18, 19, 20. This play could get absolutely insane today. It really could. So SPRB, guys, receives US FDA breakthrough for, again, its treatment. That's a very good press release where things can be getting exciting. So that's the one that kind of stood out the most to me. We did have CVU as well. CVU was not bad in any sort of way. And CVU, is that one getting any sort of... CVU halted? I think CVU's halted, guys. Let me double check this. NASDAQtrader.com/trading halts. I don't see CVU being halted, but it's just not moving in any sort of way. Went from 260 up to 290 and then basically just like died. So, I mean, just maybe no one's trading it. 260 up to 290. Did have a little press release right here. Talks about receiving $20 million. So it does say CVU receives $10.2 million in, again, a purchase order from the U.S. Air Force. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that press release in any sort of way. But out of the entire 8 a.m. press release wave, right here, we are seeing SPRB be the number one. SPRB, number one play right here. SPRB. So let's just turn our attention and focus over towards that one right here. Good play. Now, again, the good news is also we will get the 8:30 press release wave coming on up. 8:30 press release wave will get a lot of hype. 8:30 press release wave, a lot of traders are going to be focusing on this. Also, a little heads on up. If you guys, are watching over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up right now. If you guys are watching over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up at this moment. If you guys are watching over on X, make sure you guys like it, retweet it. And I believe StockTwits at this moment is currently down. They might be back up. Oh, no, StockTwits is back up now, guys. So again, for anyone, just a little heads on up, StockTwits is back on up for every single trader. You guys are good to go. Team, does anyone think, what do you guys think right now over on SPRB? SPRB, this is one of those plays that it's going to squeeze or it's not. And I know it's like, well, Dek, thanks a lot for, again, the obvious. But what do we have? We have this little bull flag pattern. And this little bull flag pattern is definitely a little bit crazy right now. This bull flag pattern is saying to ourselves, hey, if we get to the corner and this thing starts moving its way on up in a strong manner, we can definitely see that possible breakout. So SPRB, best press release out of today. Traders are excited for this one. We want to see if this one is going to be able to squeeze and start ripping and running back up towards the upside. So, Dek, what can we do at this moment? Okay, if you want to trade right now, you are going to enter where at? Dek, I want to enter. You enter anywhere near the purple line. Now, you enter near the purple line with a stop loss underneath the purple line, because the purple line should be what? The dip buy opportunity. And if you start going underneath it, that could be going into the bearish territory. Well, Dek, what if I want to short? If you want to short, you short at the top purple line, and you do a stop loss if we ever start breaking probably like $16. So that's what I would do if I were you. You're either dip buying the bottoms or you're shorting the tops. I would try to avoid the middle. So again, here's a dip buy. Dip buy would be, again, 1360, 1350. Now, unfortunately, guys, if it starts cracking 1360, 1350, we might be going to the bearish category. So another great way for you guys to be able to see this is type in the word bearish. Or I'm just going to type in the word bear so it fits. Bear. Anything that is underneath that purple line is bearish in our eyes. Anything that is above this purple line, let's just type in bull. So now it's bullish in our eyes. And now anything that's in the middle right here is a little bit of a gamble. Okay? Anything that's in the middle right now is a little bit of a gamble. We don't know, excuse me, which way this is 100% going to go. We are inside this wedge. And now, again, we know the news came on out. We have the credibility. We have the reason. The stock is up 66%. We have this nice pop right here. And now it all comes on down to let's see which side is truly going to win. So for me, I jumped in on my play looking to see if it was going to be one of those spikes and dumps. Sometimes in pre-market, we have big spike, we have big dump. And guess what happened? Stock spiked. It came on down, moved on up, came on down, moved on up, and I didn't feel comfortable. So I just said, you know what? I'm getting out. I took a small loss, no big deal. I don't want, when I trade, I go in with ideas. My idea, guys, we just spiked up to $18. Let's see if we just crash right back on down. If that happens, I make a lot of money. But the worst thing I can do is now keep on holding and go against my plan. If I keep on holding and go against my plan of, I thought this was going to spike and dump. Well, now it's in a bull flag pattern. The best thing to do is just reset. Get out of the play. Doesn't matter if you're up $80 or down $80 and say, let me just reset here. Let me just try to, again, figure out the best idea, the best path moving forward. And that's where you guys can be able to have consistency. So right now, traders, we have SPRB. We're waiting on this one, watching this one, seeing if we're going to get the next squeeze. Cracking underneath this line would be, again, entries for shorts. Breaking this line would be, again, entries for longs. Or, again, you look for dip buys with probably stop losses underneath like $14 at this point. So if you go underneath $14, we might be going over towards the bear category. Does this make sense, everyone? Is everyone with me right here? Does this make sense? Little heads on up. A stock just came out with an offering. PXLW just came out with an offering. PXLW. Watch for this big dump probably. PXLW, $13. Starting to dump down to $12.30. Might get a little bit more weakness. Guys, SPRB right now still inside its bull flag. So awesome. Little bull flag pattern setup right here. Getting ourselves, tighter and tighter and tighter. And here comes that possibility of back up towards 15. I want to hear from you guys in the chat room right now. Everyone over in the chat at this time. What do you think is going to happen? Do you guys think SPRB is going to squeeze and spike? Saying, Dek, I want to enter in the low 14s because I think that's the dip buy to move on up and we're going to get that breakout. Even if you enter in the low 14s, you can sell at 15. And then again, you can make some money. Or Dek, I'm going to short this play whenever it gets up to like 15.50. And I'm going to short it. And then again, watch it drop back down to like 13.10 eventually. So it's like there are two sides here. And again, SPRB getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So number one, the first question that people always ask me, Dek, how'd you find SPRB? Well, again, if you don't have Fox Runner, you can't find these plays. So you have to have Fox Runner. SPRB was highlighted at 8 o'clock. The moment it started spiking, we saw this play at $10. It came out with this hot press release. Now, after the press release came on out, now again, we are now inside our bull flag pattern as the stock is getting tighter and tighter and tighter, looking for that $15 break. So here we go. This is, I believe, only SPRB under 1 million in float. Under 1 million in float here. So SPRB getting very tight. I mean, absolutely, traders. This thing could go bananas today. It really could. Here it comes again. Another $15 touch. We're coming up to the top purple line. Coming up to the top purple line. Can we break out? Coming up to the top purple line. Can we break out is the question. So a couple touches. If you are shorting this play, you short it, but have a stop loss at 15.50-ish. 15.50, 15.60. Guys, we're starting to break that right now. Are we going to squeeze here? We're trying to break out of the bull territory. We're trying to break out of the bull. Oh, we don't want to be going back to sub 15. Back to sub 15 is what's really going to hurt you. You want to hold above. You want to squeeze here. Let's see if this takes on off. Let's see if this can squeeze and take on off here. Probably do, again, like 100 share increments at a time. 100 share increments at a time is what you guys would be looking at. If it goes back to sub 15, we're going back underneath the purple line. We want to squeeze here for all the bulls. Come on now, bulls. Let's see if we can squeeze. Let's see if we can take on off. Back sub 15 is definitely showing some weakness. Bitcoin press release just came on out. BMNR and ORBS, those are press releases that kind of have come out a lot. We can keep our eyes peeled on them, though. BMNR, nothing too much there. And then ORBS, not too much there. Guys, right now, SPRB is starting to try to get squeezed. SPRB right now is trying to get it squeezed. Notice how we are breaking out of this bull flag pattern. Remember, the most important thing for you right now is to just hold above 15. I don't care if it falls back down to 1510 or 1540. As long as you hold above 15, you have the bulls. As long as you are above 15, you are looking good. Guys, buyers are starting to pick on up here. Buyers are starting to pick on up. Let's see if this thing can keep on going. Dek, what if I want to get a dip buy? If you are a buyer and you want to get a dip buy, try to get a dip buy maybe at 1590, 1580 if you can get that pullback. But right now, it's starting to squeeze out of the bull flag. So I am not in on this play. I'm not shorting this play. I'm not going against the grain. This is bull flag pattern exactly as we discussed. Now starting to rip and run up towards new highs. We can get up towards around 1875 at this point. If we do get a pullback, you might want to look for dip buys and limit orders. I would say like 1630. Maybe again get 100 shares. 1610. Maybe you go 100 shares. Maybe again do a 1628. I'm thinking the low 16s. I would feel confident for a dip buy. Get about $1 drop. See if we get a little bounce play back on up and go from there. So I'd be again looking for a little bit of a pullback, and then hopefully we can keep on squeezing. But guys, we are nothing but green candles so far. Right now we have obviously absolutely exploded. We are on clearly the bull flag setup. I am not in, but I will get in if we get a quick little dip back on down towards the low 16s. Low 16s is what I would like to do. Low 16s, I would like to get filled. Low 16s, I would like to be able to get myself involved on this play. And then hopefully we have one step back before we take like 3 steps forward. That's what I want right there. So mid to low 16s before we run up to like $20 plus would be the goal. But very cool pattern so far, huh, guys? Very cool setup, very cool trade, very cool idea so far with every single one of us, seeing SPRC with this clear-cut bull flag pattern. And it's great if you guys got filled, at these areas. But remember, it comes on down to just preparing, having ourselves with some confidence, having ourselves with some great trade ideas, having ourselves with some ideas to be able to make some money. So right now, team, I'm still waiting to see, can we get that little drop back on down? And again, what I would like to see is that drop back on down towards like this region. If I can get this little drop back on down towards this region, that's where I can get filled. And then I'd be looking for a bounce play like right back above 17. That's what I would like. Get filled, get a nice bounce play back on, back on up towards like 17 plus and maybe start getting some money. SPRB. Yeah, like sub 1650. Sub 1650 down to $16, what I would like. Dek, would you just wait until it comes all the way back down to 1540? The thing is, if we actually do get buying, like let's say we break 18, break 19, break 20, if that happens, I don't think we're going all the way back down to 15. I think we might see like a 1590, we might see a 1610, we might but there's a chance that we don't even go down this low. We might possibly break 18 and fly up to 22, 23. Again, this is by far the best press release of today. Right? SPRB. Right now, as we can see, stock is absolutely flying. And also, if you're not good with, reading this right here, all the best ones also do come out in the news alerts tab right here as well. So this came on out at 8:01, 1 minute after it came on out. So even if you're not good at reading all the news, there's like a little cheat sheet, showing all the best ones are just posted for you. Traders, we are still watching SPRB here. SPRB is the number 2 top gainer in the stock market behind SOPA. SOPA obviously isn't doing much right now. Guys, SOPA is not doing too much. Traders, right now, SPRB still looking. Guys, looking for that $20 pop. Looking for that $20 pop and rip and run here. Traders, lots of buying volume. Unfortunately, I don't think our 16s are going to get filled. I don't think our 16 entries are going to get filled at this point. Is anyone just jumping in saying, Dek, yippee-ki-yay, I'm going after it? Any yippee-ki-yayers here? I kind of want to. I'm a little bit nervous, though. $20 break. We got up to $20.50. And you could also go on the short side as well if you wanted to. I probably don't recommend that right now. It has so much buying momentum. But this thing is looking strong. Traders, I'm going to yippee-ki-yay 100 shares here on the long side if I can get it. And see if I can just get filled over on this play. Hold on. It never got filled. I have to go through the market setting here. Then Cobra. I did not get filled just yet. Little heads on up. But I'm thinking about it. I want to just do 100 shares, see if we can break through 20 bucks and have some fun. But I'm not filled on anything yet. Again, I've done one trade here so far, and that has been it. Let's see here. Can we get that $20 squeeze and break? Dek, what's the dip buy opportunity? Maybe I got to take a second. Dip buy opportunity is going to be back on down. Trying to figure out where's the best dip. I mean, the best dip seems like 1850. I'm just nervous on that big drop. Where's that big drop going to happen? I do think we're going to get a couple $20 tests. $20 test, $20 is gonna be like 15 at this point. These $5 increments. We hit $20, we get rejected. We hit $20, we get rejected. So it's gonna be like $20 is gonna be like the new 15. Either dip buy and try to ride up to $20, or short in the 19s, having $20 hold. Little heads on up, PLRZ. PLRZ just came out with a press release. Positive preclinical results demonstrating encouraging blocking efficiency. PLRZ, guys, just came out with a press release 2 seconds ago, getting a little bit of hype. PLRZ, guys, just came out with a press release talking about positive data showing encouraging efficiency. I do have a voice alert on that. That's kind of how I heard it come on out. So, but PLRZ might get a little bit of hype. Everyone just kind of turn your attention towards that play here just for a second. And if you want to, you can give it a small chance and say, hey, maybe PLRZ is going to wake up and people are going to start buying into that play. But PLRZ here, team, definitely one I would just say keep on your back burner. Did just come out with a press release less than 1 minute ago. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And again, great job from everyone here today. Learning, staying ready, staying on top of it. Let's go back over to SPRB right now. SPRB seems like it has the majority of the hype and momentum. We are getting a little bit of a dip buy and bounce play off that like 1840, 1850 area. Let's see how well this is going to hold. Just trying to get that little a bounce. And if we do get the bounce, again, that $19 mark. Dek, would you short looking for $20 to hold? Yeah. You know, I would definitely look for that. You know, look for, again, a couple more shorts with $20 as my stop loss. I'm going to give it a little chance. I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to start entering some shorts with a $20 stop loss. Entering some shorts with a $20 stop loss. And I don't mind, again, you know, again, I will always give stocks a chance and then say to myself, hey, you know what? If the stock can't do what I want, that's okay. As long as, again, I have tight stops, it doesn't really matter, right? So $20 stop loss is where I'd be at here, guys. I don't mind entering near around, you know, 1950, 1920, as long as, again, I stick with my stop loss. That's the most important thing. So right now, traders, I'm in at 1882. 1882 with 400 shares right now. 1882, 400 shares, betting against the stock, looking to see if this one's going to fade and fall with a stop loss at, again, $20. Stop loss, $20. So, Dek, what would you like to see? I would like to see this play at this point, possibly reverse on down to 17, 16, 15, 50. So, again, we just spiked on up to $15. We got a tons of rejection. What I'm looking for is this one going to spike up to 20, and is 20 going to hold up as our new rejection line, and the stock start fading and falling and dropping? That's what I'm essentially looking for right here. So let's see if we can start turning slowly, seeing if $20. I do have a stop loss at $20. That means the worst case scenario is I lose $400. So worst case scenario would be me losing about another $400. Is that the end of the world? No. It's me, again, giving stocks a chance for me to make money. What's the best case scenario? I win, again, like $1,200. We get a nice like $3 drop here, back down to 15. I could be able to make some good money. So it just depends on which way is this one going to break. Now, some people might say, hey, Dek, could we be possibly forming a new flag pattern? What do you guys think? Do you guys think we have a spike and we have a little flag right here? So I definitely want to be aware of that. I definitely want to be on top of that. I definitely want to be saying to myself, Dek, if we have this new flag pattern forming, I don't want to get caught up in another squeeze if we break $20. So I always have to have my finger on the trigger, just being ready to get out if, again, a play does not go my way. So I always have my finger on the trigger, aware of, again, the possibility of a flag. If the stock starts cracking 18, we should kill off the flag and kill off momentum. But now it's just a waiting game here. Finger on the trigger in case I need to get out. Or, of course, if we start making some good money, we could be able to take some profits as we go. $20 is our stop loss. And, guys, I'm getting out right here. Stock, again, is getting a little bit of a pop. I don't want to, again, get held up in this play. So, again, I'm being careful on this one. I'm getting out of this play right here and right now. It's looking still a little too strong with the flag pattern. I just don't trust it. So if the stock dumped right there, I would have kept on holding. But, again, I don't want to get squeezed. It still looks like it's strong. Do you guys believe? Oh, and here comes the reversal. Here comes a little bit of that reversal. It had the little pop up to $20, getting a little bit of that reversal right here and right now. So traders, here comes a little bit of that fade back on down now. Oh, guys, here comes a little bit of that fade. Here comes a little bit of that drop. And it seems like the momentum is starting to shift. Deck, where could you get filled if you wanted to get back in on this? I would just say like $18 region. If you ever can get filled, maybe back up towards around that $18 region, $18.40. You know, if this thing ever got a little bit of a pop right back on up, we could look for a short because it seems like momentum is starting to turn. But hey, if it's not part of my game plan, it's okay. If it's not what I want, it's not what I want. So right here, team, I will look for entries once again if this play gets that little pop up towards $18, if this gets a little pop back up to $18.50, because at this point, we might start getting a little bit of this downtrend forming. So we have a little bit of this downtrend starting to form, a little downtrend weakness happening right here. And now again, guys, re-entering this play, just got filled on that last little pop up to 18 bucks. So I am filled right now, 500 shares at, again, that last little pop of 18 bucks. And I'm still just kind of looking to see if we can ride this down towards 1640 or so, kind of make back a little bit of that loss that I had before. So let's see if I can be able to make a little bit of money, if this one can turn and fade, if this one can get a little bit of a drop back down to like 16s and maybe be able to make a little bit of money. So far, again, I've gone over after 2 trades. I've lost both of them, lost $300 on average on each one. I want to see if this one is going to actually get the reversal. I mean, the thing is, you're up 100%. I'm shorting a stock that's up over 100% looking for the drop. Deck, what's your stop loss on this? Stop loss would probably be if this one started getting a back above, I would say, $19. Deck, why $19? Because we do have the downtrend. If we break the downtrend, that's where, again, you would have to get out of this play. I don't want to hold the play if we have a downtrend and it breaks the downtrend. I don't mind holding it, though, if, of course, we are shorting a play on a downtrend, but it's just you can't hold it if the downtrend breaks. Basically, what we can do here, guys, is get kind of add our new lines. Now, what's our new lines? Anything underneath the purple line is bearish. If we break back above this line, it is bullish. So anything underneath where we are right now is bearish. Anything above is bullish. So that's an easy way to just be able to understand this trade and be able to get a good idea of what could be happening next and how you can be able to trade and how you can get yourself involved over on these plays. So right now here, team, we do have, again, SPRB. We do have a little bit of slight momentum, but I wouldn't be shocked if we got a little pop, maybe back up towards 1850 or so. Deck, why do you say that? Because that is the downtrend mark. If we do keep on fading and falling, we do have room to go all the way down towards like 1550. 1550 is kind of like the next main support line. Little heads up for you guys. So right now here, traders, watching to see if we can crack 17. If it can't crack 17, watch for it to pop back up to 1850. Now, also, a little heads up for every single person. What's coming up here next? What's coming up here next? And you might say, Deck, what do you mean what's coming up? Guys, little heads on up. I'm up $500 right now. We're cracking 17 almost. Almost cracking 17. We're up $445 here. $510. $16.90. $500. Traders, I'm going to take my gains right here and just eliminate like a big chunk of my loss. So I'm just going to take my gains right there and, again, take a $500 profit. Instead of being down $800 on the day, I'm able to eliminate over half of that. And now, again, I'm back to a reasonable area. So instead of trying to make everything back on one trade, sometimes, again, I like to kind of break it on off. If I go after a trade, right, and I lose, I say, okay. I go after a trade and I lose. Okay, I go after a trade and I'm up. And let's say I'm making back over half my losses. Let me, again, get out of that. And now I can look for another trade where I have, again, more confidence and I can keep doing it. So the thing is, sometimes I might make 4 or 5 trades. Maybe, again, 3 of them are losses. 2 of them get me back to even. And then 1 of them is my explosive win. Like, that's what you guys need to understand. It's almost like, you know, I don't want you over trading, but you have to give yourself chances. Right? That's the big thing. I don't want you over trading. But if you, again, win, try to have that win make as much as you can. If you lose, go ahead, nick away at those losses until, again, you're back and you maybe find that one that makes you a ton of cash. Right? So that's kind of what it comes on down to. Guys, little heads on up. 8:30 news is back. So maybe we're going to find our next SPRB here in the next few seconds. We might find our next SPRB in the next few seconds. Coming on up, 8:30 news is here and live. So here we go, guys. 8:30. All we had was ATLN so far. We have acquisition. Something. Oh, guys, we have positive data. LBRX. LBRX right now just came on out. Doesn't seem like it has any sort of news. Excuse me. It says it's going to present at its upcoming meeting. These don't usually spike too much. ZOOZ purchases $40 million of Bitcoin. ZOOZ. ZOOZ, sometimes we have been seeing press releases that have to do with cryptocurrencies go on spike. ZOOZ just went from 210 up to 230, getting a little bit of hype. HSII just came out with a press release talking about entering into an agreement. Notice, not every press release is going to lead towards a big spike and rip and run. We are just trying to get 10 different press releases and finding the one out of the 10. That's kind of what we're looking for right now. If you guys see anything that is going crazy, right now I'm not seeing anything going nuts. ZOOZ has a little bit of hype right now, but it kind of came right back on down. LBRX is going to talk about its upcoming data. AISP right here. Anything here? No. Just came out, announces $11 million firm price. Okay, so nothing yet at 8:30, guys. Nothing yet at 8:30. 8:30, we're absolutely fine. 8:30, there's nothing that we need to put ourselves involved in. We'll see if we can get something good here pretty soon. Right now, nothing at 8:30. Do you guys see anything? SANM. SANM, good looking stock, though. Much bigger blue chip play. I don't think we have any 8:30 brand new press release wave, brand new hype. Guys, SPRB. Guys, getting ready for the possible squeeze here. SPRB, possible squeeze coming on up. We had our downtrend, right? We had our downtrend. We have the bull. We have the bear. Now, again, guess where we're at right now? We are at a very delicate area. Why is this area so delicate? Because we could possibly be breaking out here momentarily. And if we break on out, guess what? Buyers are going to move on in. The hype's going to be going, and people are going to start getting excited. So we had this little downtrend here. I'm going to adjust this downtrend and connect it right here because whenever we form a new top, I always like to adjust the downtrend. So what does it come on down to? It really comes on down to, let's get back above 1950. Dek, I want to short this play. If you want to short this play, you can short it. Do not allow this play, A, back above 1950, or B, do not allow this play above $20. If you want to short SPRB, all power to you. I've shorted it. I've lost twice. I won once. If it breaks 1950, you're going to be getting scared. If it breaks $20, you're going to be getting really scared, okay? So make sure that you guys are just fully aware of the game plan. I like to explain all my numbers to you and, of course, give you guys visuals on all my numbers. Unfortunately, team, it is 8:30, so I do need to jump off of Stock Twits, but just a little heads on up for every single person so that you guys are all set, ready to go. I am going live over on tradecaster.com. This is where I live stream every single day. If you guys want to come over to tradecaster.com, you guys can sign up to a free 7-day pass. And again, it comes on out to $79 a month, which is about $3 a day. So if you guys are excited, if you guys want to trade, if you guys want to be with me every single day, $79 is, again, what it is to be able to watch me live stream every day. You guys do get a free 7-day pass. Remember, you guys can also get Fox Runner. Type in the word Foxy, F-O-X-Y, for 30% off so that you guys are all set. Trade ideas, if you guys type in the word Dekmar trades, you guys get 15% off as well. So I just want to kind of throw you guys some different deals and some different discounts. But I'm going live over on Tradecaster. We got a big day ahead. We got money to make. We got opportunity ahead of us. Let's get ready to crush it. I'll see you guys over on Tradecaster.com. Hey, Stock Twits Nation, shout out to you guys. Thank you for being so incredible. Thank you for being so amazing. We got so much fun. We got so much hype. We got so much attention. And we're looking forward to a massive day ahead. I hope you guys enjoy my teaching, my excitement, my enthusiasm. I absolutely love it. I know you guys do as well. And I'll see you guys again over on Tradecaster. Thank you so much, Stock Twits. Let's head out of here. And of course, let's have a great day.